Watching this storm that was slamming California, well, guess what? It's a coast-to-coast storm, and it's going to bring a mixed bag to every region of the lower 48 as we go through the week ahead.
So let's focus on one of the bigger ticket items, severe weather. I mean, we're talking about a tornado potential, mid-Mississippi Valley, so a targeted area for this time of year. And the more heads up you have, the better. That's for sure. We're talking not only tornadoes, but possibly hail and damaging winds. Now, the timeline is going to be this weekend. So we're talking about Saturday and Sunday. We have a level 2 outlook issued by the Storm Prediction Center that really stretches from Texas all the way up through parts of Illinois and Indiana. When we have this early of a release, because this got released yesterday, sometimes we have an upgrade. So this is one that I would watch closely. But the igniter is a cold front. So ahead of this cold front, we're working with some heat. Temperatures are pushing the 90s across parts of Louisiana. We're in the 90s in Texas. So this clash of the air masses will help support the severe weather.
Right? All the humidity, too, all that moisture getting funneled in. You got all that cold air behind it. Here comes the front. The area highlighted there, if you look at this, you can see all of the surface winds coming in from the south, pumping in all that humid air off the Gulf of America. You throw in a jet, you throw in some cooler air. It's the perfect setup for us. It is our second severe weather season, no surprise, and we do expect storms in this part of the country this time of year. But now we're looking ahead all the way to Saturday because it's one of those storm systems that you can see it moving from coast to coast, which is kind of interesting and fun to watch, you know, working behind the scenes and anybody else who's a big weather buff. It's fun to watch.
With this setup of wind shear, that change of wind speed and direction as you go up off the ground, that will support the tornado risk. Also, because we have a powerful jet, notice how these blue arrows, they are like skyrocketing across the screen. We have very fast winds right off the ground, and so sometimes thunderstorms can grab onto those winds and unleash them down to the ground, and that's how you get like a freaky wind gust of 70, 80 miles per hour. So both threats are on there. In terms of October tornadoes, what's highlighted in red are the zones that we typically see tornadoes in October. So you can see an overlay, right? This is the zone that we would anticipate seeing severe weather and a tornado risk in the month of October. So it's not a shocker, is what I'm trying to pass along. Here's the storm energy, because although we're losing daylight, we also have plenty of daylight and heat to work with, and that heat will support the instability.
And I'll tell you what, that'll take us beyond sunset, so we'll watch that closely, because look at the heat. You're talking about the humidity. Dew points are up into the 70s in Texarkana, 71.
Oh, this is sticky.
So gross. Most of northern Louisiana, in fact, a good chunk of Louisiana. It's true, right? You're carving pumpkins. You don't want to put them outside because it's just too hot and nasty for them.
I mean, really, the benchmark for severe weather in October, if you're seeing dew points in the mid-60s, that's enough.
Crazy.
Low 70s, it's like, wow, that's a lot of humidity and moisture in the atmosphere. Here's a look at the flash flood potential. You know, you're having thunderstorms tap into warmer than average temperatures, so that warm air can support warm moisture, which thus leads to thunderstorms producing heavy rain.
You get to hold more moisture in the atmosphere. That means you squeeze more out. It's like that sponge
but
that's
probably,
soaked.
you know, more of a threat for street flooding, I would say.
Agreed, yeah, for sure, yeah. I mean, especially for here.
It's a quick couple inches of rain, but 1 to 2 inches of rain in this area would translate to a street flooding risk when the thunderstorms are rolling through. Yeah,
and then you look at some of the places that get a little orographic lift, so you might get that in a short period of time.
Some runoff down the hill.
Yeah, into the hollers.
Areas like, you know, Kentucky, West Virginia, because again, this front continues off to the east. We'll get to the east in a little bit, but it truly is a coast-to-coast threat that we're tracking with this kind of a setup. So as you work this cold front up into the Appalachians, it will allow for some heavier rain to develop.
There's your squeegee effect, too. Look at the front coming through. Behind it, different air mass, not much more in the way of moisture. It bumps in all the heat, all the humidity. What do you have Saturday?
90 degrees in Shreveport.
Ouch. Plus, think of all the dew points, the heat. It's just going to be oppressive for fall. You're like, wait a second, are you sure this isn't spring? It's that kind of feel.
It's going to feel very warm for this time of year. Behind it, we drop to the 60s. So it's a good 20-degree temperature drop in general, give or take wherever you are. So for St. Louis, this is a good visual. 83 and muggy on Friday. Thunderstorm, severe risk on Saturday. And Sunday is like slam dunk. I am so happy for this zone because you get to capitalize on a really nice second half of the weekend.
Yeah, the first half not so much.
Dry, cool. If you need that perfect family photo in the pumpkin patch, plan it for Sunday, folks, because everything's kind of lining up for you.
That's a good point. That's what people are doing right now, right?